What is up, guys? Rick Kakis here, and today we're going to be going over 7 things you might have missed with the launch of the Age of Triumph content offering for Destiny. Now, most of the things coming in the Age of Triumph we knew about. There was 3 huge live streams detailing what Age of Triumph would be all about, the weekly activity changes, and the loot changes, and on top of that we had a bunch more analysis going on from people like myself and other content creators. So most of us knew what was going on before Age of Triumph ever actually hit the game. However, this video's purpose is to go over those other things, those extra things that even if you were paying attention to the analysis pre-release, you will have missed because these were not talked about. And some of those things are very interesting. Now, before we get onto the list, guys, if you enjoy this content and want to see more, take a quick second to support the video by liking, commenting, and especially sharing. It's a simple thing to do, but it really does help me out, and I very much appreciate those of you who do it. Now, let's start with number 1, a change to Xur. Xur hasn't yet arrived with the Age of Triumph, but he'll be packing something totally new in his inventory. Xur will now sell 2 new exotic weapon bundles each week in addition to his regular sale items. Exotic bundles are going to cost 30 strange coins and 25 silver dust, and what they're going to contain is 1 exotic weapon and 1 matching weapon ornament. So this is kind of a new and neat way to get rid of the problem of mismatching exotics and ornaments. It sucks if you have a bunch of Telesto ornaments and don't even have the Telesto. So this is kind of a way to get around that, and it's something to spend your strange coins and silver dust on if you're interested. Now, moving on from there, thing number 2, the introduction of a new item called the Knuckles of Io. What these are is that at the beginning of a raid segment, so if you complete the beginning encounter of any of the new updated raids, you're going to receive these Knuckles of Io, as you can see right here. What these do are, they're kind of like a 3 of coins, but specifically for raids, because you can apply them, and then when they're active after being applied and you beat that raid boss, you are going to get more rewards for that raid. And additionally, Knuckles of Io can stack, just like 3 of coins, up to 5 times. So you can save all 5, I guess, pop them all at the same time, and get mega rewards from the end of a raid. Now, the interesting thing is that I used my Knuckles of Io and didn't notice anything substantial. From beating Crota, I still got that 1 exotic weapon, the new raid elemental primary weapon from beating the Crota challenge mode. Presumably, there is a possibility that the Knuckles of Io will cause these exotic raid primaries to drop even if you don't do the challenge mode. That's my guess, but I don't exactly know what their loot table expands upon, but we do know they give you better loot in some regards. Now, moving on from there, thing number 3, and something I think is pretty cool, there has now been an increase to the reputation awarded for doing the weapon tests for the Gunsmith. So now you're not going to have to spend as much time doing a bunch of weapon tests in a week to level them up kind of a pitiful amount. Those are now going to award much more Gunsmith rep, and that means you're going to level up your Gunsmith a lot quicker. So if you haven't been doing Gunsmith, because frankly their weapon tests are pretty tedious, this is now something you may want to look into, because there is still very good weapons like the Suros DIS-45 Scout Rifle, the Cosidus Scout Rifle, even a few sniper rifles, the Irene. There are some desirable weapons still in the Gunsmith's loot table, and now you're going to be getting those rewards a lot more often. So again, start doing those Gunsmith weapon tests. Now after that, thing number 4, Eris Morn now accepts Moldering Shards and charged Antiquated ruins in exchange for Crota's Bane reputation. Now this is interesting because leveling up Crota's Bane can actually grant you up to 400 light artifacts, and I know that artifacts can be a sticking point in getting to 400 light for many players. So if you have a bunch of Moldering Shards and or Antiquated ruins, this may be something you can just, pound out a bunch of levels of your Crota's Bane and get that artifact that you were missing. So keep that in mind as well. After that, thing number 5. Xur 4 over in the Iron Temple will now actually accept Isenfyre Tokens in exchange for quite a bit of Vanguard and faction reputation. 500 Vanguard reputation to be specific, and around 250 faction rep as well. Isenfyre tokens you earned for beating Wrath of the Machine raids, and previously you just put them in the fire at the temple and it would make it go really high and you could jump around on it and get a Siva node, but aside from that they were pretty much useless. Now they're a pretty big deal, so if you have a bunch of Isenfyre tokens saved up, congratulations on your crap ton of new Vanguard rep. Next up, we have some vendor changes that we've condensed into thing number 6. The vendor items that are sold for legendary marks have actually had their light levels increased. No longer are they 350, they're now 380, and that's something that I think players just haven't checked yet. So if you're a low light level, go start buying those vendor items. They drop at 380 now. In addition to that, each vendor now has the Silver Dust Engram that is available to purchase directly from them. So you can get the Dead Orbit Silver Dust Engram from the Dead Orbit vendor. This engram contains random armor that's Dead Orbit from pretty much throughout Destiny's history, and even does contain year 1 armor. So if you're an armor collector, that's some really good news. Each Silver Dust Engram will cost 5 Silver Dust. And moving on from there, the last thing you might have missed is involving the next Iron Banner. I'm sure some of you are wondering what the next Iron Banner is going to be. Well, according to the patch notes, it could be something very, very interesting. It said in the patch notes, are you guys ready for this? Support added for Iron Banner Mayhem Clash. That's right, Mayhem could be coming to Iron Banner. That is going to be bananas. I know some people are going to hear that and hate that, and other people are going to hear that and love that. Mayhem Clash is kind of divided between those lines, but in any event, it's going to be a very different Iron Banner when that hits. And so guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. Now if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And if you want to actually be notified of new uploads, be sure to press the bell beside subscribe. Now if you guys want to support the channel, check out my official merch, linked in the description down below. By the way, I am going to be a featured content creator at GuardianCon 2017 in Florida. So if you guys are there wearing my merch, I'll absolutely come up and say hello. And guys, if you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.